Hey, Joanne Musa, the Tax Lien Lady. I think I'm live on Facebook. I'm doing things a little bit different today because Nicole isn't here. So instead of using StreamYard, I am going right from Zoom. I'm using Zoom and going right from Zoom to Facebook. So I hope you guys are seeing this now. And I don't know if I can see your comments or not. But it's showing me that I'm live on Facebook, and yeah, I think I can see your comments. Okay. And I do have some questions that we got from both from Facebook and from YouTube, because we also post these Ask the Tax Lien Lady live recordings on YouTube. So, and Nicole had sent me some of those questions, and I'm going to answer them today. And if you guys have questions, I think if you type it in, I'll be able to see them and be able to answer them. So I'm just checking now to see if I could see the comments. When you come on, say hello, let me know where you're coming in from, so that I know how best to answer your questions. And okay, so let me get going and answer some of the questions that I have. But first, I want to let you know, and I'm going to remind you about this later also, but I have a couple of things coming up that are free training that I want you to be able to take advantage of. And one is our wealth building webinar. It's free to come live, and it's tomorrow night. My newsletter went out today with that info, and so you can register. I'm trying to think of where else you could get the registration link. I could put it in for you in the comments. Let's see if I could do that here. Let me try to comment here and put that link in for you. And this is the link to register for the wealth building webinar that we're doing tomorrow night. But I didn't tell you what we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking about buying tax liens online now, okay, in 2021. And how you can get started. And since I just did a survey, and some people that responded to the survey said they didn't even really know the difference between a tax deed and a tax lien, I will go over that. And then I will talk about the tax lien sales that are coming up online and how you can invest in those. And for those of you that need more help, we're also doing a 3-day challenge next week, which you also can register for. And I will put the registration link in here as well. And hi, Ray, how you doing? It's good to see you. Yeah, I started already, and you bought your first lien certificate in Birmingham, Alabama last week. Okay, yay, good for you. Okay, so let me type in the registration link for the webinar. I'm going to type that into the comments for you now, because it looks like I'm able to see your comments too, and I'm able to put my comments right into Facebook. Okay, so it's at taxlienlady.com/live-free-webinar-registration. So that's how you can register for the wealth building webinar. Now, it's free to come live. If you want the recording, you have to be a member of wealth building webinars. And if you just go to wealthbuildingwebinars.com, you could find out how to become a member. Or I think when you register for the free call, you'll be able to, on the thank you page, it shows you how you can also get the replay. All right. And for the 3-day training, the 3-day challenge that we're doing, it's the Buying Tax Liens Online 3-day challenge. I'm going to put the link for that too, because that is free to come to live as well. And you will be able to get the recordings from that. But once it's done, it will be added to the Buying Tax Liens Online course. We will be updating that course for 2021. And that is a $500 course, guys. So register for the free challenge. All right. And then we'll be doing a workshop. And the workshop is a $500 workshop. Members get into the workshop for free. So if you're a member, you get in for free. If not, it's, and the workshop actually goes over where the platforms are, how to get on the platforms for these lives, for the not live, online sales, and how to register and how to do your due diligence in detail, okay? The workshop, we're gonna go over it, but I only do a 30-minute training each day and then answer questions. So, so altogether, that's a 90-minute training that I'll do, and I just can't cover everything in 90 minutes. Okay, because each training that I do could use 90 minutes, okay? So in the workshop is a 2-hour workshop where I can really go in depth and answer your questions on and show you online how to do things. All right, that's what we do in the workshop. All right, so for the 3-day challenge, it is free to come to live, and I'm gonna put that in here now. It's at taxlienlady.com/3-day-challenge. Whoops. Not typing it in correctly here, 3-day-challenge. And now I'm going to get to the questions that we had from Facebook and from YouTube, because again, we post this on YouTube as well. The Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live. Okay. All right. All right, so let me get those questions. Nicole sent them to me because she couldn't be here today. All right, so the first question I got is from David, and he said, do you have a partnership in Texas? No, I don't, but I do know of somebody in Texas who will invest. He doesn't invest for you anymore, but he has a club that you can join and get on his list. So he would go to the sale and buy stuff, and then people that are on his list get access to it. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I do have webinars with him in the Wealth Building webinar archive that I have, which if you're a member of Wealth Building webinars, you could get access to that. Or if you're a member of the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator, they get access to that as well. And Wealth Building webinars, you could find out more about at wealthbuildingwebinars.com, okay? And you could just look, there's like one page that has all the webinars that we've done over the last couple of years. And you could just like scroll through that page and look for, or I think there's a search box that you could search under Texas and see what we have for Texas. All right, then Anthony asked, which state is the easiest for tax lien investing? Anthony, that's a loaded question because there is no easy answer to that. It really depends on where you live and how much money you have for investing, because states do things differently. In some states, you need more money. But the states that are really the easiest are also the most competitive, and you don't get very good returns. So that really depends on you. It depends on the person and what you're looking for and what your goals are, and how much money you have to invest in where you live. All right, so that's not really a question that I could answer here. It's not a one-size-fits-all question, in other words, okay? That's something that I have to actually dialogue with you about, all right? But I will be covering that in the 3-day challenge, because that's all about buying tax liens online. So I'll be covering that for the online tax sales that are coming up the end of the year, from now until the end of the year. So I will be talking about which states have online tax lien sales in the fall and which ones I think are the better ones to invest in. Okay, which ones are worth investing in now. And of course, it kind of does depend on where you live. So, but if you're in the challenge live, I can answer that for you live. And the challenge is going to be Wednesday, the 20th, which is next Wednesday, the 21st, Thursday, and Friday, the 22nd at 3 p.m. Eastern time. All right, it will be recorded and you could get the recordings for a limited time because then it's going to be added to the Buying Tax Liens Online course. Okay, do I have information? This is another question from Arturo. Do you have information on the upcoming deed sales in Pennsylvania? Here's where I get my information on all the upcoming sales. And some of the deed sales, by the way, in Pennsylvania are online and some of them are on Bid for Assets. So you could get some information on there for the online ones. For all the other ones, I get my information on a site called Tax Sale Finders. Now, they have different paid memberships, and members of the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator get access to Tax Sale Finders. I give them access. I pay for them to have access to Tax Sale Finders. And that's how my coaching clients and my members and myself find out about tax sales all over the country that are coming up. Okay. All right. So let me go to the next question here, which is from Mia. If I get a tax deed property in Michigan and have a quit claim deed, a lot of the times when you buy a deed property at a deed sale, you get either a tax title or a quit claim deed. And a tax title is the same as a quit claim deed, okay? So you can't get title insurance on the property. You can get property insurance because you're the owner of the property, but you can't get title insurance because you don't have a warranty deed. Okay, the title is not warranted. So what you need to do is do a quiet title action or a, what do they call it? Quiet title action is done with an attorney, but you can also do a title certification, a tax title certification there are certain companies that do that. Okay, either way, it's probably going to cost you a couple $1,000s to do. But that's only if you're selling to somebody that's going to get a loan, because if anybody is going to get a loan from a bank, the bank is going to want title insurance. And in order to get title insurance, that's why you need to clear the title. So if you're wholesaling the property to another investor, you don't necessarily need to do that, but you just need to let the investor know. So it just lowers what you could get for the property because it's going to cost them $2,000 to do that, right? But yes, you could sell it without doing that if you're wholesaling it to another investor. But you're going to have to sell it at a little lower price because they're going to have to clear the title if they sell it to somebody that needs a loan. You could also rent it out and you don't need to do that. All right. So Mia, I hope that has answered your question. And I have another question from Darnay. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name properly. Can you tell me what tax sales do you think that are easy to buy tax deeds and tax liens that are not too difficult to understand the rules and you don't need a lot of money to get properties? Thank you. Okay. Again, that's a loaded question because any place that's easy is going to be very competitive and you are going to need a lot of money. All right. So, and again, this is not a one-size-all question. It really depends on how much money you have to invest and where you live. And if you're looking to get properties, you do need to have a little bit more money than if you just want to buy liens. All right, because you're actually buying the property. And if you're buying liens, it's not a good way to get the property. Deed sales are a good way to get the property. I don't know if it's Darnay, if you want the answer to that question, that's a conversation that I have to have with you. And that's something that, and I would suggest that you have enough money to invest before you have a conversation with me about that. If you don't have at least $5,000 to invest, and basically you need more, and that's for liens. If you want to buy the property, you really need more. And it depends on which state, how much you need. So when you ask, like, where's the easiest states to invest in are the states you're going to need more money. But you asked, where's the easiest ones to invest, and that you don't need a lot of money. So those are like two opposite things, right? Yeah, so I would need to know a little bit more about you to answer that question for you, like where you live, how much money you have to invest, and and basically that's it. Yeah, and what your goal is your goal is to get the property or to get a return on your money. Okay, those are like the three things that I would have to know about you before I can really answer that question. There is not a one size fits all answer to this. Okay. All right, and I think I've answered all the questions that I had ahead of time. So if you guys have questions for me, you can type them in. And hi, Eli. Eli is asking, is there a rule or law if there is a redemption penalty once the sale has completed in New Jersey before the township mailing out the actual certificate? Okay, here's the thing about the redemption penalty in New Jersey, because in New Jersey, for those of you who don't know, New Jersey has both an interest rate and a penalty. All right. The penalty, if the lien is redeemed within 10 days, there's no penalty. You don't get the penalty. Okay. So, and actually, that might not be true, because some tax collectors will give you the certificate before the 10-day period is over. Once they mail the certificate, that redemption period is, and it's not a redemption period. It's a period, and I forget the exact name for it, but there's a period of 10 days after the set tax sale that the tax collector has to give you that certificate, to mail that certificate to you. And after that 10 days, the penalty is on that certificate amount. And the penalty varies. It can be 2 to 6% depending on the amount of the certificate. However, if the tax collector gives you the certificate right away, as soon as you have that certificate, the penalty is valid. All right. And I don't know where the exact statute is for that, but that's my understanding of it. So Eli, does that answer your question? All right, and that doesn't really have to do with the redemption. What do they call it? The time for redemption, because they can redeem the lien in 2 years. It's a 2-year time to redeem, but there's that 10-day like forgiveness period. That only deals with the penalty, not the interest. They still have to pay interest. If they redeem it within those 10 days, they still have to pay, because, in New Jersey, the interest is accrued daily. So Eli, I hope that answered your question. Let me know. Philip. Philip is asking who wants to partner. He has a small amount of money coming in, so it looks like he needs somebody to actually do the work for him. Philip, here's what I suggest that you do. Go to Investing for Success, the Investing for Success Facebook group, and post that in there if you're not a member. If you're a member of the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator, you can post it in the Facebook, the Tax Lien Profits group for members. But if you're not a member, it's free to join the Investing for Success group, and you could post it in that group, okay? Yeah, and Ray has already answered you about that. Ray says, my focus is to do both, buy them myself with money and JV with others where I am boots on the ground and will do all the work. I plan to continue to get more education from yours truly, from me. about several states. I have 10K or more to work with and coming up. Okay, and there's more that let me see if I can see the rest of that. I like South Carolina too. Yeah, Ray, you want to get on that 3-day challenge that I'm doing next week. That's about liens and redeemable deeds, but only the ones that are online, so not South Carolina. But there might be others that you want to learn about. And you also want to join the membership. Don't wait. Price has gone up. You should have joined earlier. Okay, so Eli says he had certificates on the same day from 2 different townships where the lien got redeemed prior to mailing. One gave me the redemption penalty and one did not. Yeah, it's up to the tax collector. If it happens in the first 10 days, it's up to the tax. They don't have to give it to you, Eli. Not if it's in the first 10 days, but you still get the interest, which is only like a very small amount, 1 day of interest because it's an annualized interest. Okay, and I think Philip is asking for your contact information. Ray, I would not give it here where everybody could see it. I would do that, take that to the private Facebook group. Philip, I know Ray is in there in the Investing for Success group. All you have to do if you're not a member of the Investing for Success group on Facebook, Philip, is just answer questions. And especially the one that says, do you agree to our terms? And basically, we just want to, you have to agree to our terms, which just says that you're not going to solicit anybody and that you're interested in finding out about tax liens. So there's some questions, there's 4 questions. The last one, make sure you answer the last one and agree to the terms, and we let you in, okay? There's no charge. Okay, yeah, it is the Wild West, Eli. All right, yeah, would be happy to have you as a member again, Ray. And I guess if you become a member before the 27th this month, I am doing another workshop. These are $500 workshops, guys. We'll be updating the Buying Tax Liens online course. Will be also the 3-day challenge that we're doing is going to go into that course. You could get into that challenge for free, but the workshop that we're doing on the 27th, you cannot get into for free. It's a $500 course that we're updating. And if you're a member of the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator, guys, for $197 a month, you get all the workshops we do for free. So, it's a no-brainer. Do it now before the 27th, okay? And I will put in the link for you where to go to find out more about membership. It's just taxlienlady.com/membership. It's really easy. Okay. All right. And that's where you could find out more about membership. All right. So let's see. What else do we have here? Hi, Gary. What are my thoughts on deeds in North Carolina? I just like the mountains around Asheville, North Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina is beautiful. And they don't have much available. I haven't actually investigated any of the deed sales there. I mean, I have looked at to see what's coming up, and the ones that I have seen, they don't have much available there. So you just have to investigate it yourself, Gary, and find out. And here's what I would do. Here's what I do with my coaching clients when we go to a new place like that. The first thing I have them do is get the results of past tax sales. And then they know exactly how much money they need and whether it's worth it or not to do the work, right? So that's what I would do. Oh, my best contact info. Just send an email to info@taxlienlady.com. Yeah, get in before October 27th. And don't do it like the day of or the day before, because you might miss the memo. You might miss the memo. You might miss the emails to get into that. So do it a week before, a couple of days before. Do it now, Ray. Don't wait, do it now. Because I'll tell you why. Because you'll get the replay of the wealth building webinar that we're doing tomorrow night, and you'll get in on our next training call next week. Okay, yeah, you got some, Gary, you got some leads that are wholesale deals. Okay, very good. All right, so I think I got everybody's questions. Let me know if you guys got any more questions. Is there anything else I can help you with today? All right, thank you so much for all these wonderful questions too. All right, and it's weird because I'm looking at Zoom and I'm looking at Facebook and there's a delay. So I'm seeing myself talk on Zoom as I'm doing it, and then I'm seeing a couple of a few seconds later on Facebook. So. Yeah, there's a delay from Zoom to Facebook. Okay. All right, so let's see if we got any more questions. Okay, you guys are so welcome. You guys are so welcome. Next week, I have a lot of tax sales to go to. So, and I've got a lot going on because we're doing that challenge. So I'll be able, I've got tax sales that I'm doing this week that are online in New Jersey. And I've got a live sale I'm going to tomorrow, not tomorrow, Thursday. And then I've got, next week, I've got 4 live sales in New Jersey. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I'll be able to tell you what goes on during that challenge, right? And we'll be doing online sales too. Sometimes you do better in the live sales, sometimes you do better in the online sales. And I'll be able to tell you what's happening in New Jersey from the field, right? Because I'll be doing the challenge. So next week is a really busy week for me, because I'll be doing that 3-day challenge. I'll be going to tax sales. We also have next week a member training Wednesday night. Yeah, so Ray, join before that. Join before next week so you get on that member training Wednesday night. This Wednesday night is our wealth building webinar, which you could come to live for free. And I already put the link in there for you guys into the comments. So I think that's it for today. It was a short, this was one of the shortest Facebook Lives that I've done and answered a lot of questions. And that's because I got some beforehand. But I think I did all right without Nicole, because I usually have Nicole to help me out. And she makes things a lot easier. So I do miss Nicole. All right, guys. So I hope to see you tomorrow night in the wealth building webinar, and next week in the 3-day training. And by the way, that 3-day challenge that we're going to be doing is at 3 p.m. Eastern time each day. So you guys that are on Pacific time, it'll be lunchtime for you. It'll be 12 o'clock. All right, everybody. I will see you next time. Bye.